Good evening, race fans, and welcome to another season. It is the 802 Winston Next Gen Cup Series coming to you here in 2025. I'm Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network, and tonight we have a good one here. We kick off the season here tonight with pole qualifying that's just about to get started here, as well as two duels here later tonight. Those duels, of course, paying points, so drivers gonna be racing for a premium here tonight, even though it's before the first race of the season, the Riptide 250. Still a lot on the line, and of course, overall the duels will set the lineups for the Riptide 250 here next Sunday on the Turn 3 Racing Network, so you guys won't want to miss out. One of, if not the biggest race of the season for these guys, coming to you live here next Sunday on the Turn 3 Racing Network here at the World Center of Racing, Daytona Motor Speedway. Here tonight, I believe we have 26 cars so far here on the premise, getting ready to do battle for the pole qualifying here. Looks like about 6 minutes left in practice as drivers get everything set on up, get to what they like, how they like it, because they're only going to get one shot at this pole qualifying, 2 laps, but only 5 minutes to get the job done. So these drivers will have to ready to rock and roll for that time. And then after that, we will take a little bit of a breather, probably chat with a few drivers, then get right on over to dual race number 1. Here tonight, the dual races will be 40 laps each. So here tonight, we do have 80 laps of racing in total, with the 2 duels still yet to come here, even after Riptide pole qualifying here, coming to you here in about 5 minutes. So looking over at the league, coming into season number 6, I can't believe it's already been 6 seasons. We take a look at the stats. I'm always a big stat guy, and right now, Johnny Barker leads the league with 79 starts. Tonight will make it his 80th start with the league. Rob Lowell sits second in that with 77. Then it is Jason Wiley and Brandon Guerin. Brandon Guerin from BG Graphix tied with 64 starts here tonight. I believe both of them here. Yes, they are. So they will continue to stay tied till one of them happens to miss a race for whatever reason. Also, looking at the stats here, especially here at Daytona, we took a look at past track records here with the league, and it looks like the best time was set back in Season 3 here in the Next Gen Cup cars. That was done by Dustin Coggin, so we will have to keep an eye on the 42 here in qualifying. Coggin with the best time ever with a 49.658. We will have to see if that time gets beaten here tonight, but Coggin might be one of the favorites to walk away as the champion of the pole qualifying here, happening in about 3 minutes or so. Some fun facts from some winners from Daytona here. Jason Wiley picked up the first time these guys went to Daytona back in season number 2. Then the season 3 winner, the driver of the 21, Rob Lowell, picking up the checkered flag there. Season 4 going to one of the best guys in the league at the super speedways. He always loves to win. We come to these big old tracks. It is the 11 of Kenny Reel. And then last season, the winner of this race was Jacob Bowen out here. So I don't believe we have Bowen here. So once again, we have another great shot that it could be another first-time winner here at Daytona. No one has yet to repeat here at Daytona. Could this be the season here next Sunday that someone adds their name another time to that list, or will we see 5 different winners in 5 starts at Daytona? Man, a lot of cool storylines heading into next week. We take a look here in practice just to get a quick look at the times here. It looks like Kip Easley with the quick time so far here tonight, a 46.84. That definitely was done in the draft here, so these times might be a little bit skewed. As we said, we're looking for times about a mid 49 or so. That will definitely put you on pace for that pole here. Also, taking a look here at kind of some fun facts coming into the season. Only one driver has double digits wins in his career. That is Kenny Reel here. In his 47 starts, he has visited victory lane 10 times. So, Kenny Reel, the first driver into double digits, would love to continue to grow that lead. Has a lot of good races on the schedule here. Of course, next couple weeks will be next week for the Riptide 250. Then we head to the Tar Heel 200 at Rockingham Speedway. The SoCal Showdown 200 at Auto Club. That would be November 9th and then November 15th. So about a month out from now, they do head to New Hampshire after that. So that gives a quick preview about the next 4 months. And then, of course, we have playoffs here this season. So playoffs will start, I believe, March 1st, and that will start at Michigan. Then they go to Dover, and then end things in round number 1 at Chicagoland. Round number 2 will include Las Vegas, Gateway, as well as Homestead, Miami, and then the final round, the Championship 5, will take place at Hotlanta, Atlanta Motor Speedway, Nashville Super Speedway, as well as Kansas Speedway. So a lot of great tracks there in the playoffs. Kind of a noteworthy thing, no super speedways in the playoffs, and I don't believe any short tracks as well. So interesting there. The drivers that are good at a mile and a half may look very, very good when it comes time to playoff time. But we head back into the present day here, practice wrapping on up, and we get ready to head down for pole qualifying here tonight. And we will see who will walk away with the Riptide Radio pole award here in just a few moments. All right, here we go. I believe we're getting some of the cars getting ready to rock and roll, so we will see who we want to look at here for the qualifying. You guys have any suggestions on who we should follow? Can only look at one driver at a time, but we will definitely have the time and tower going because time's going to come flying on in a hurry. I say we take a look here at the driver that has the track record, changing the number this year. Like I said, he was previously the 42. This season, he rocks the 44. It is Dustin Coggin here down the backstretch. Coggin will get this 44 machine up to speed, and we will see what he can do. Can he beat his own track record? Can he walk away with the Riptide Radio Pole Award? We'll find out here. Through 3 and 4, Coggin will come and now sets his sights on the start finish line. And the 44 of Coggin is on the clock here at Daytona. And especially here in qualifying, input's very, very important here at Daytona. You want to keep as much momentum, even if it's a tenth of a mile an hour. It will make a difference here in qualifying. So you'll see Coggin keep it nice and low on the speedway. Doesn't seem like that car moving left or right or whatever. That's where you'll definitely scrub some speed. So this 44 machine looking pretty good here on lap number 1. These drivers do have 2 laps here in qualifying, so most of that time, that second lap is usually a little bit faster as a 44 off at turn number 4. First driver to put in a lap, John Buell, then Dan Holkoff. Coggin across the stripe, a 50.47 for the 44. So going to look for some more speed here on lap number 2. Right now, Holdcroft with the quick time here in the 88, 50.44. No one has yet to beat it, as about 16 drivers so far have completed a lap. All drivers in the server are currently out on track. Through 3 and 4 for the final time here for the 44. New quick time here. Jeff Pogo in the 97, last season's champion, current season defending champion. Jeff Pogo to the top of the board. Coggin able to get some more speed there on lap number 2. Will slot in about the 6th position here. Driver just getting to the start finish line. Kenny Real able to go quick time now. Kenny Real with a 50.40. Same with Kip Easley as well. So times very, very close here tonight. And you have to expect that every time it comes to qualifying here at Daytona. I mean, look at this field first through about 19th or so, separated by a 10th of a second or less. Man, that is some close times here. Right now, Kenny Real with the Riptide Radio Pole Award here. And it looks like most things wrapping on up. I think only maybe 1 or 2 more cars left out here. So don't want to call anything before it's all said and done. But Kenny Real looking like in a very, very good spot with about 45 seconds left in qualifying. It looks like the last driver's still out on track here. Some notables in the top 10 here. Like I said, Kip Easley, second quick here tonight. Joe Hudson in the 23, third quick. Kevin Roy in 7th there in the 77. And then right now at the moment, Jason Wiley, last car inside that top 10 here in qualifying. So yeah, that will do it. It looks like Kenny Real will walk away here tonight with the Riptide Radio Pole Award here. So we will try and get a word here with Kenny here in just one moment and get chatting with him, see what his thoughts are going into tonight, because now it could definitely change with Kenny Real as tonight's Riptide Radio Pole Award winner. All right, we'll try and grab Kenny here right about now. Get a quick word with the driver of the number 11. And I think we have him here, folks. So we will try and get a word here with the driver of the 11 machine. Kenny, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here. Kenny Real, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here. Kenny Real, do we got a copy here? All right, looks like maybe we don't have a copy from Kenny, so we will try and get a word with him maybe in a little bit here and try and see what else we can grab. So I think while we wait a moment, we'll go to a quick commercial break, get things rocking and rolling in duel number 1, and then we can see who else maybe we can get a word with here tonight. So Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back. But here tonight, leg number 1 already done and over with. The 11 car of Kenny Reel is this season's Riptide Radio Pole Award winner here from Daytona.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Daytona here, and I think we'll try and get a word with a different driver. We'll see if Kenny here has a copy here in just a few moments, but first we're going to try and talk to the driver of the one car. That is Brandon Guerin out here, see his thoughts here with tonight, and he's in duel number 1, so he's getting ready to rock and roll. We'll see if the driver of the one car here has a copy. Hey, Brandon, it's Brett the Jet in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Gotcha, Brett.
Alrighty, man. So
I was wondering why I was beeping.
Yeah, man. So how we feeling in duel number 1? Qualifying went probably okay for you. What's the game plan from here on out for the rest of the night?
So the game plan's gonna be to hook up with the old teammates. I'm gonna try to see if Frank and Kenny will still work with me, since me and Pogo, new teammate, got split up. So we're both in opposite duels, but just gonna try to log some laps here. And I get this is a full points race, but we're gonna try to log some laps and really get ready for next week. See what we end up with after 40 laps here.
Exactly. Yeah. Next week, definitely the big one, the Riptide 250. You know, we've never had a repeat winner in that race, and, you know, looking like it could be another one next week. What do you think you have to do to be in position that you could do maybe tonight to put yourself in position for next week to walk away with the big checkered flag?
I think we're gonna have to find some dancing partners. Last year I had a bigger team, so it was really easy to control some races. With just me and Pogo next week, it'll be a lot harder with just two of us, but I think it's just gonna be trying to create some allies for tonight and showing the racecraft. I mean, I know how to race these races. I've won some Talladega races, just I don't have the same luck at Daytona for some reason, so we're just gonna hope we can have a little bit better luck here.
Yeah, and you mentioned it already a few times here tonight. New team here formed this season. You and Jeff Pogo. How did that come about, and how is that going? That's got to be a pretty solid lineup from the get-go.
Yeah, it kind of just came together out of nowhere. We were talking, and he was mentioning that most of his team wasn't coming back, and he was probably going to be an independent. And then last year we added John Buell mid-season, so he was kind of like our part-time driver, and we can only have 5 full-time. So this year Penny Stackers would have been at 6. So not that there was an odd man out, I just kind of took the odd man out myself, so we didn't have to break up the team too much. But once Pogo really told me that he was independent, I was like, well, let's team up and let's just make a little team here. So we'll see how it works. I mean, it's not the first time, as I've seen in the Discord, that Brennan has joined the defending champion on a team. So hey, you got to ride the good coattails, and hopefully I can learn a little bit from Pogo this year.
For sure, man. I definitely don't blame you with that move here. So before we let you go and get ready for this duel number 1, it looks like things starting to get rock and roll with that. We're going to go hand the mic over to you and have you give a quick shout out to whoever you like before you get ready for this 40-lap duel number 1.
Yeah, first off, always shout out the kiddos, Bryson and Brody. I'm gonna shout out my new teammate Pogo and Hooney Gang Racing. Obviously Rob putting on the league, all the admin team, you putting on the broadcast, Turn 3. Really excited to have you back again this year. So yeah, hopefully I'll be talking to you at the end of this race and we'll be winning.
There we go. I hope so as well, Brandon. Best of luck here in the race. And you, my man, good luck here tonight.
All right, thank you, Brett.
Alrighty, folks, that was the driver of the number 1 car, Brandon Guerin. So we got the new server ready to rock and roll. So once again, while that loads on in, we'll go to hopefully just a super quick commercial and then see if maybe Kenny Real can have a quick copy depending on what the game plan is over there. So we will be right back to kick off duel number 1 here tonight at Daytona.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
All right, so we come back here trying to load into duel number one here. So sorry for that little bit of a delay, but currently trying to get iRacing to let me into duel number one here. So not missing any action or anything like that. So we will see if this will let me in, and we get to duel number one here just momentarily, but iRacing definitely taking its time, so not sure what the reason is with that, but up on screen here we have the season 6 schedule. So like I said, giving a little bit of insight for the playoffs, that is what the schedule is looking like here for the next couple months with this group. It's definitely an exciting schedule, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't think, trying to see if there's any reason why it's not, what is going on here with iRacing. You gotta love it. Yeah, like I said, still have time here. Everyone still trying to get everything rocking and rolling. I believe probably, if I had to guess, probably waiting for myself to get on in here. But yeah, looking at the schedule here, I think the kind of the big exciting race, I'm definitely looking for that mid-February race at North Wilkesboro. That thing's definitely going to be excited. New North Wilkesboro. So yeah, I think it may be a issue with the server with having it being a certain driver. I think it may not allow spectators. So we will try and triple check with that. So we will be right back here. We'll leave the schedule up on screen, but not missing anything here. We are just trying to get everything 100% rock and rolling here for you guys. Alrighty, so we are back. We're going to try one thing here, see if that will get us rocking and rolling. If not, we may chat with the driver of the 11 with Kenny Reel, see how Kenny Reel's feeling after that pole qualifying attempt here. And it looks like yes, he is. So while we wait for this to rock and roll here from the iRacing side, we'll talk to the driver that walked away with the quick time here at Daytona. It was the 11 car of Kenny Reel. Kenny, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, man. So first and foremost, congrats on the pole qualifying lap. How'd you do it, and how'd you feel about it?
Just one lapped it. A lot of people don't know that it's changed to one lap here at Daytona, so I didn't really. I told everybody last year what it was, and this year I kept it pretty much to myself, except for my teammates, because since the update, a lot of things changed. So, yeah, so me and my teammates qualified pretty good. I'm glad I got the pole, and yeah, we're out here. I heard you're having trouble getting in the session like everybody else.
Yeah, for some reason, as a spectator, it's not letting me in. So I'm hoping that it will let me in at some point, so you guys don't have to join a whole new server or whatnot. But yeah, man, when it comes to super speedways, you are one, if not the favorite, when it comes to those big tracks. How does that feel for the pressure for tonight as well as the big race next Sunday?
I'm just comfortable with these races. I do them every day. I do them constantly, so it's just something I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable here than any other track this and Dega, so I feel pretty good coming into these races. Also, if there's something, I think if you add somebody as a friend, you can join off them in the session. So I don't know if you've tried that yet, but that might be a way for you to get in here.
Yeah, that is a good idea. I don't know if you can tab on over and accept a friend request, because I can even shoot
Yeah,
you one
I
quick.
can. Just, yep, I'm looking at it right now. So if you want to send one over, I can do it real quick.
Sweet, appreciate it, Kenny. But yeah, looking forward, big picture, another full season ahead of us. And, going into this season, you sit as the driver with the most career wins here at 10. Of course, probably plan to add a couple more of those to the stat column.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. We're not gonna play around this season with anybody. We're just gonna come out here and get wins.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And that is for sure a good game plan from here on out. And, of course, Super Speedway is probably always looking forward to for yourself on the schedule. Any other track for this season that, you have circled for yourself?
Texas, I know I'm really good at Texas. Charlotte's another good one for me. I like Michigan, Vegas, all the mile and a halves. I'm pretty excited for.
Yeah, for sure. And, I took a quick peek at the schedule as well, and it's mostly mile and a half for the playoffs, so that could fall well into your favor when that time rolls on around.
Yep, sure could. I'm ready. I'm ready for the season to get started. So hopefully we start tonight off pretty good.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff here, Kenny. Before we let you go and continue to get ready for this dual race, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and have you, if you want to give a shout out to anyone on the broadcast to walk away with the first Riptide Radio Pole Award of the season.
So give a shout out to all my teammates, all the admins that put on the league, and of course you for broadcasting. And we are currently green right now, so we're underway. Hopefully
Oh
you can get in
man,
here.
yeah, I'm trying to even come in as your spotter, so we'll see what we can do. But good luck, man. We'll let you get back to it.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, folks. That was the poll winner here tonight, Kenny Real. As yeah, we are may have missed the start of the race, but currently still trying to get on in here. So we'll see if we can jump in one of these other ways here real quick. So yeah, good old iRacing, doing iRacing stuff out here. You gotta love it.
Any luck, Brett?
Alrighty, folks. So still trying to get on in here. If it doesn't work, we do have a backup option here to get this race at least kind of called and kind of working together here. So we're gonna try and give it one last hoorah. But yeah, currently green racing right now. Kenny Reel out in front. Jim Ott currently running in the second position. Those guys currently 1-2 on the bottom side here as yeah, the first couple laps, still 40 laps here tonight. So far been clean and green from duel number 1. Duel number 2 definitely going to go without a hitch here. So it's just first one, the classic. And if anyone knows iRacing, you'll know that this thing's kind of weird because as I try to load on in, before even getting like the confirmation green join bar up in the top right of iRacing, it kind of just does a spinning wheel before then. So definitely on the iRacing side of things, I believe that is the issue. So we will try and jump back in here, give it one last final hoorah. If not, we can do kind of a makeshift overlay stream here. We sadly won't have any of the tower for race number 1. We'll just have to call it based on car numbers. Alrighty, folks. So yeah, still iRacing still having issues. So we are gonna go now. We're gonna go do it a little bit of a kind of a new way around here. So we're gonna go watch a stream of the race here and try and make the call from that. So won't be the prettiest for duel number 1, but we will make it happen and keep this thing rocking and rolling here. So we'll head to duel number 1 here, looking at 3 screens as well. So here we are in the field here, currently still rocking and rolling. As you guys can see, the 11 car of Kenny Reel out in front. Then in second is Jim Ott. Behind him, the 48 Ally machine. That is Brandon Finley. So Finley, I believe, making his first ever 802 start here with the Next Gen Series. He's running in that 3rd position. Then in 4th is the 61 machine. That is piloted by Steve Ritter. So Steve Ritter switching up the numbers here to this season. Last year was the 16 machine. Said, you know what, let's flip these numbers on around. And yeah, this season rocking with the 61. Then in the 5th position, that is the 23 car. The 23 here tonight, being piloted by Joe Hudson. So Hudson right now rounding out the top 5. Right behind them sits the 2 of Nick Larson. Then it is the 23 car. As actually we got 2 23 cars. So might not know exactly who we are looking at there with the neon car, but as the rest of the field, like I said, still clean, still green flag racing here, has single filed on out. So a lot of drivers just rocking and rolling, biding their time, and I don't blame them. That is definitely going to be what the game plan will be here for the duels here tonight. So yeah, I believe the dual field size is about 14 to 13 cars in each. So momentum's definitely going to be at a premium here. Without the full field, drivers are going to have to try and take as many runs as they can get once it gets in the closing stages, because right now everyone, like I said, riding around, biding their time, just trying to make sure they make it to the end. But after that, it's all about taking that momentum right when it is presented to you. Like we heard Kenny reel, a lot of confidence coming into this weekend's event as well as next weekend. A really, really big fan of the super speedways. Like you said, he pretty much does the super speedways, it seems like, almost every single day. So he's one driver with a lot of seat time when it comes to these super speedways and this style of racing. So like I said, he's for sure one, if not the favorite, coming into tonight as well as next week as well for the Riptide 250. Looks like Brandon Guerin in the one car here going to try and start to make lane number 2. So looks like we got 3 cars up in lane number 2 here, trying to get some track position, trying to build that momentum. And as you can see, once you start working together, you can start to generate a decent amount of energy, especially with the amount of cars left. Brandon Guerin, new race leader now out in front. So Guerin getting a great push there by that black and red machine. Trying to see if I can see a number on the side of that thing. But a great push by those guys. And now some more guys jump into lane number 2, trying to keep that momentum rolling. So Brandon Guerin now leads the field here. Jim Ott now jumps up to lane number 2. So the 7 car of Ott going to try and lead that outside lane. Looks like Ott, though, not maybe getting the greatest pushes, or maybe some sort of damage or something's going on with that 7 car, because now that second lane here lost a little bit of that energy and dropped way on back for a little bit. We'll see if they can build it back up and try and get something rocking and rolling there in lane number 2 here. And it looks like the answer will be no, as that outside lane dissipates to about 2 cars there, as it looks like everyone else will quickly try and get back down to that inside lane here. So out in front, Brandon Guerin continues to lead here in duel number 1. And it looks like here at the start finish line, we will start lap 11 here. So it will be about 30 laps to go this time by at the start finish line. Jim Ott still committed to that outside lane here, continuing to slip on back there in kind of that teal number 7 machine. Ott will finally get down to that inside lane here, as it looks like everyone back to riding on around. Maybe not. Ott gonna try and jump on up to the top side by himself here, so taking a little bit of that momentum, maybe trying to learn a thing or two when it comes to these closing stages, because still over half of the race left here tonight here in duel number 1. So Brandon Guerin, we got a chance to talk to him, as you guys know, before this duel number 1. And Guerin said he just hasn't had the luck, hasn't been in the right place in the right time here at Daytona. And so far right now, sitting in one of the best spots out in front here. As once again, Jim Ott still trying to work that second lane. Gets picked up, I believe, by the number 9 machine as well. So those two going to try and work together here once again out in lane number 2. But yeah, out in front, I assume it's got to be one of the penny stacker drivers there in that second car. It might be, because I don't see his normal paint scheme. It might be Frank Zingen there in that second position out here.
One car pitting, one car pitting.
All right, so we just heard the call there. Brandon Guerin here, this time by coming down to pit road here. So we'll lead a good chunk of cars here. Does everyone make it safely on by? Oh, I think Nick Larson there in the 2 machine had to make a little bit.
Out pit stops.
Maybe had to make a little bit evasive maneuvers there. And it looks like Larson will lose the draft there. Man, that got a little bit sketchy for our one and only green flag pit stops here.
Frank. That pit road entry was a little bit earlier than I remember. 48 pitting this time, fellas.
And it sounds like this second group probably coming on down this time by.
64 pitting, 64 in.
We heard it there,
77
folks.
pitting.
Brandon Guerin, I believe, pit road penalty. So the driver that was leading this field before this cycle may have to come back through or have that 40-second hold, as this second group here on the binders heading down pit road. Second group looking nice and clean here, as these guys will roll to their pit box, probably pack it up with fuel, probably maybe just right side tires. Oh, contact on pit road. One car sideways. It looks like that is the 9 car here right before his box. So we'll get into his box here, but we got to wonder what kind of damage, if there is any. As yeah, it looks like a lot of splash and goes here tonight out here.
.64 out.
So here we go. Group number 2 rocking and rolling on the apron. We'll see that lead pack here coming on up in a hurry. And wow, that pack that pitted in that first group, very, very spread on out, because here comes the 11 of Kenny Reel and Frank Zingen, and they will blow by the rest of the cars. But everyone else from that group not really around. So that first pit group, very, very broken on up. This second pit group, a lot better. And it looks like here at the moment, it's about a 10 or so car race to this checkered flag if we do not see a yellow, because that's only the amount of cars here right now is about 10 cars in this pack since those green flag pit stops.
Number 9, if you want to live for a second, I'll catch up and push.
So Kenny Reel back out in front of the field here tonight. Kenny Reel led the field to the green flag, had the pole.
I'll be right on your tail coming out of 4.
In that qualifying, so Reel back where he left on off now at the start of the second half of the race here tonight. So it looks like the field will pass. I believe that's a 2-car. Nick Larson 3 wide there, almost a little bit sketchy, as a 48 there has to wait maybe an extra second to get on down to that bottom side. Here comes now the 99 with a big run up in lane number 2. Kenny Reel will throw the block. Kenny Reel will get turned, and our race leader around here, and it looks like Kenny Reel.
I don't know why you tried a double block there.
Involved, and looks like
That
Reel
wasn't a
will
double
get
block,
it
it was a single
rolling.
block, and you misjudged the hole and killed me.
And it looks like, I believe under the caution flag, it looks like it. So with these guys under the caution conditions, that will slow up the pace here. And I think real quick, we'll try once again to get into this session. So as things are slowed on up, not going to miss any racing action under the caution conditions. So we'll be right back here after a quick commercial break. Try and continue to get into this server if we need.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, so we are back here at Daytona here under the caution conditions. So here on lap 25, still under the caution here, as this will now once again bunch up the field. I believe the last car to go a lap down was Nick Larson, so Larson should be back on the lead lap, and I believe that should make most of the field on the lead lap here, as lap 25, like I said, under the caution conditions, the first caution of the evening. And yeah, it looked like mostly netco there between those front runners there, sending the 11 cars spinning. So Kenny Real feeling pretty good into tonight. May have some work ahead of him when it comes on around to next Sunday. So yeah, out in front with us all cycling on out. Frank Zingen here leading the way. And I believe this time by we should see the lights go out on the iRacing pace car. And we should have the field re-racked and restacked. And will be about a 12-lap shootout to decide who will pick up the checkered flag here in duel number
Look at the
one.
bottom.
And you heard the call right there. Frank Zingen going to choose the inside lane. So it's going to be traditional lineup from here on out. The 62 car in control. Looks like the 48 of Brandon Finley going to start on the outside of the front row there in the 48. Then in row number 2, it'll be made up of the 77 of Kevin Roy. Haven't talked too much with him. He was kind of hanging on out, biding his time in the pack. Now up there in the mix for sure, as well as the 23. That is Joe Hudson as well. As our feed may have had a little bit of an interruption, so hopefully everything is all set there feed-wise here. And now it looks like maybe Discord having some issues as well. So if there's a technical difficulty that hasn't happened tonight, I would be impressed because I think we've encountered a little bit of everything. So you know what? That means that, next Sunday when it comes to the big Riptide Radio 250, that thing's going to go like a dream because there's always at least one race a season where something happens and it gets a little bit goofy. Here tonight, sadly, that is what it is. So we'll get this night done and over with, put it behind us, have a great time while still enjoying some racing, and then be back to it, of course, like I said, next Sunday here. Looks like here the stream trying to get back rocking and rolling here on Discord, so we'll see if we get a feed. But like I said, still under the pacing. Probably about, if I had to use my spidey senses, probably 20 seconds or so till the start of the green flag there. And then, yeah, like I said, folks, about 12 laps remaining here in duel number 1. And here we go. We are back. So, once again, Rob, we do appreciate it big time. As, yeah, here we go. We are back here and out in front. Frank Zingen there in the 62 machine. Looking pretty sporty here. He does have some nose damage, so now with this camera, you can see that 62, that front bumper just pushed in just a little bit right around the grill. So you got to wonder, does that affect how the 62 can lead a lane? Out in front, though, the 23 new race leader, Joe Hudson, out in front leading the way. As, yeah, now it looks like the 23 the other 23 car. I believe that's Eli Raposa in kind of the neon green. So finally got confirmation from that. So that's Eli Raposa, the 46 car, or the 23 on it. So the two 23 cars here, nose to tail, leading that inside lane. The outside lane, that being led by the 99, that is Tyler Bellinger. So Bellinger here trying to get the race lead from lane number 2. And look at this, Kenny Reel getting spun on out. He's back in the conversation now with 10 laps to go here in duel number 1. So 2 by 2 pretty much through this entire field here in duel number 1. Jim Ott now up in the mix. Ooh, Kenny Reel, an aggressive move down to the bottom side. As soon as he saw that was open, he went for it. Frank Zingen saying, hey, it's getting a little dicey up in there. I'm pulling the chutes. We're going to the back. He's banking on another caution here before the end of this one. So Kenny Reel now leading inside lane number 1 here. Eli Raposa there in that Robin Hood 23 there, pushing the 11 out in lane number 2. It is the 99, like I said, of Tyler Bellinger, as well as the 61, that piloted, of course, by Steve Ritter. So some good names in both lanes here, as these guys very, very even. They'll give the advantage to the 99. He will get clear. Do they pull down to that inside lane? Yes, they do. Brandon Guerin going to be able to get down as well in the 1 car. Steve Ritter now has some open track, and Steve Ritter will lead at the stripe here for lap 33. So Ritter here out in front. Now Brandon Guerin behind him. The pack starting to break on up just a little bit here. This is where momentum is generated. You can start getting some really big runs if you want to take it. It looks like Brandon Guerin going to take it. He will shoot to the outside of the front row. Steve Ritter will get a massive shot in the shorts there from Eli Raposa. So now advantage, maybe that second lane. Brandon Guerin will go down to the bottom side 2 block here. Jim Ott up in lane number 3 here. Looks like may get shuffled on out. Now the 99 up in lane number 3. 7 laps to go there at the stripe. So I think it might be a smidge too early for the 3 lanes, because here at Daytona, it's definitely not as wide as, you know, the likes of Talladega. So once you go 3 wide, it's pretty much a gridlock from there. So you really want to save that 3rd lane till you really generate a huge run, and then here at the end of it, because once you're committed to it, you can't really back on out of it with how many laps are left here tonight. Out in front though, Steve Ritter back to the point. Kenny Reel in second. Brandon Guerin rounding out the top 3 here. Here at the stripe. Now about 6 laps to go left in this one. This is, of course, duel number 1. And after this, we will be chatting with the winner of duel number 1, as well as probably a few other drivers, get their thoughts and opinions from this. And then we get ready to jump over to that second duel of the evening. And then, yeah, like I said, folks, I mentioned it before, mention it again. This is all just in preparation for the big race next Sunday here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. That is, of course, the Riptide 250 to fully officially kick off the series. But season's already kicked off here tonight. Points on the line for all these drivers here. So you can definitely start the season on the right or the wrong foot, just depending on how the duels go. Because 15 car playoff, every point matters. Probably if you, well, we'll have to double check to see if it's a win and you're in, or if it's just based on points. But either way, to have 15 different winners, probably a little tough to do. So the whole point I'm trying to make is every point
Wasn't trying to
counts
force
from
you there,
here
Jim.
on
I got
out.
hit from behind when we all checked up.
So
All
this
good.
time by here at the start finish line, it will be 4 laps to go. Out in front, Steve Ritter leads the way here. Kenny Reel in second, Eli Raposa in that 4th position, Brandon Guerin 3rd. And like I said, Joe Hudson rounding out the top 5. So all those cars within striking distance both have both lanes open to all those drivers if they want to make a move. As it looks like the 77 machine here of Kevin Roy trying to start getting that second lane rolling, and they've got a little bit of momentum building on up there. They will probably have to get a few more cars to really generate the energy they need, because that inside lane, just too many cars down on there. Looks like Jim Ott will jump up to lane number 2. So I think that causes 77 maybe to lift. So that might slow him on down just a little bit, but does get some help with the 99 as well. So more cars continuing to funnel to that second lane here as we close on into the end of this one. It is now 2.5 laps left here tonight. Nick Larson now up in lane number 2. Frank Zingen also as well in that black and red 62 machine. Jim Ott thought about jumping on up there. Looks like the outside lane maybe doesn't have the momentum just quite yet. Ott will try and side draft the 23, try and pull that car just a little bit further on back as well. Nick Larson there, top of 3 wet. Not sure if he had a moment or just looks like the 48 here, Brandon Finley gonna pull the shoe here, so he's banking on something happening here as we close on in towards the end of this one. Like I said, top 3 cars looking pretty good and kind of interesting. All have a 1 in their number, the 61, 11, and the 1. The top 3, as this time by, we will see the white flag here. 1 more lap to go. We made it. We are racing back to the checkered flag. So even if the whole field wrecks here we go. Brandon Guerin, Eli Raposa make contact. They will go flying through the grass there. Raposa up and over. Brandon Guerin here sliding backwards. It looks like Nick Larson involved as well. So now we got to go back up to that battle at the front here to get the finish of this one. There you can see Jim Ott as well involved in this one. As here we go off of turn number 4. Steve Ritter here leading the way. Kenny Reel will jump to the outside. Photo finish at the stripe. And I think it went to Kenny Reel. I'm not 100% sure. Yes, it was. Kenny Reel will win by inches
I wanted to make
over
sure it was
Steve
one of
Ritter.
us, so I threw a fucking hell of a block to do it.
Wow, that was pretty good.
That was
So
a good job, man.
that
Thanks
will
for the
do
push.
it there for that one here. And we will try and get a word with the driver of the 11 machine here in just 1 second. So don't mind us, folks. We'll be right on back to get a word with Kenny Reel here in just one moment.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Daytona, or trying to be, and we have our first driver to talk with from duel number 1, and that will be the 11 car of Kenny Reel. Kenny, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I got you.
Alrighty, man. Man, what an up and down race for you. How you feeling after that one?
Yeah, we're feeling good. I was out front for a while. I know everybody was saving fuel behind me for that first little stint, and I was excited to get pit stops. Me and Frank really nailed those pit stops, and everything was good. And until I seen basically coming out of the pits, Frank hit me trying to. We were drafting out of the pits literally right after we crossed the line. He got nose damage, so he was trying to cool after we got out to a decent little lead, and I seen them coming with a pretty big run behind me, so I went up to throw a block because I knew that was the only way to keep track position, and it's so hard to get track position now on super speedway, especially if you don't have people around you that know what the package to do anymore. So went up there, the netcode got us. End up with 6 minutes of damage from that. Came out of the pits with around 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes of damage, and still went through, and somehow still came through the pack and won that race with 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, how much did that damage affect that race car? And yeah, like you said, how did you drive through that field with that race car as well?
The speed was there. I got out to the lead, and that's when I noticed I couldn't lead a line. I could be a pusher, pushing. I could push, and the line would be just as fast if the car had no damage on it. But as soon as I got out to the lead, it was like a parachute. I couldn't go anywhere, so I knew I had to be behind somebody. When I pushed Steve out and we double cleared, I knew after that I was just gonna sit there the rest of the way. And I seen they wrecked behind us, and unfortunately, when they wrecked behind us, I seen that some cars still made it, and I was hot at that time, so I had to back off, and I threw a pretty a pretty aggressive block on the back stretch there because we were sitting ducks, and luckily it boosted me back behind Steve, and I just made my move off 4, hoping I'd have a little bit of momentum, and we barely got there. So all in all, it was a fun race.
Yeah, it looked like a great finish there. Photo finish to kick off the night. And yeah, that move going to the outside just timed out perfectly, because I think, if that was Talladega, I think by the end of it, Ritter may have gotten you back. But yeah, that move was the key. Just the side draft and trying to pull that car back just that little bit.
Yeah, if that's a Dega, I'm probably waiting a lot longer to make that move than that. But yeah, it was. I really didn't know what the car would do when I stepped out, if it'd parachute back or not. And luckily, I got a little bit of momentum. And the guy behind him, I think, kind of hurt him too by trying to go underneath the yellow line, which is, I mean, not really the best way to do it. But all in all, me and Steve still got a 1-2 out of it. So can't. I know he wanted to win, but at least he still got a P2 out of it.
Yep, that you guys did. And yeah, we look forward to, next week here tonight, though, Kenny, checking all the boxes. Pole award, a dual win. Now you just got one more thing to do, right?
Oh yeah, we're going out there and winning the next one. So
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Well, Kenny, before we let you go and celebrate this dual number one win, we'll hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
I just want to give a shout out to all my teammates over at Penny Stackers, all the admins that put this on, BG Graphix, all the sponsors that sponsor the league and have on the cars. There's so many I can't really think of it off the top of my head right now. And all the admins for putting it on, you for putting it on the broadcast, and everybody in YouTube watching.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff, Kenny. You, my man, have a great rest of your night and go celebrate this and get ready for next week, my man. Congrats on 2 big wins here tonight.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, folks, that was our winner here in duel number 1, Kenny Real. Now we'll talk to our runner-up finisher here tonight. That would be the 61 of Steve Ritter. Steve, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I do. How you doing, Brett?
Pretty good, man. I think it's a night of adversity here. How you feel, my man?
I feel pretty good since I got put in the grass and then ended up a lap down and got it back. And I don't know if you've looked at the standings yet, but Kenny literally beat me by 0.00000.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a classic Daytona photo finish, but I did not know it was that close. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. I tried to push. I mean, I didn't want to wreck him because he pushed me up there. And I moved him up a little bit, but yeah, I didn't. That was about as much as I was willing to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do. You know it's a dual race, so, you got to factor that in, maybe a little bit. But, yeah, was there anything else you could have done differently that last lap to, pick up the win maybe?
I don't know. I mean, at one point I dragged the brake because I'd gotten out in front too much, and I think I dragged it a little too much. And that's when Brendan and them got by me on the outside. And he dove down underneath me and started pushing me again, and that's when we kind of got out in front there. But no, I don't think so. I mean, heck, I was lucky just to get back up there after going in the grass on the pit stop and all that.
Yeah, so I mean, you as well as Kenny, a big rebound night for both you guys to both end up on the podium. That's got to feel pretty good for going into, of course, the big race next Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, these super speedway races are always a crapshoot anyway. So tonight was a lot of fun, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it looked like a good time, and it seems like kind of that sweet spot. We hear it, of course, with the real life cars that you get a kind of a lesser amount than a full pack. You can start generating your own energy, get those runs. Could you definitely feel that here tonight with I think it was 14 cars there in duel number 1?
Yeah, you definitely can. Like when I on that restart, I was kind of towards the end of the field because I got the lucky dog, and you could really generate a run up the middle. And I kept doing that, and that's kind of what got me back up front. But yeah, that was a fun race.
Yeah, that looked like a good time here, and yeah, man, looking forward season number 6 here just upon us once again. What's the game plan? What's the expectations going into this season?
I don't know. Obviously we always try to run for a championship, but there's some really stiff competition. So I think just a race at a time. Try to get in the top 10, top 5 every week, and just go from there and see where we come out at the end.
Yep, for sure, man. That sounds like a solid game plan and a great strategy going forwards here. So, Steve, before we let you rock and roll and call it a night and get ready for next Sunday, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether teammates, sponsors, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to on the broadcast.
Yeah, Columbus Worthington Air for sponsoring us this season. Obviously, my teammates at Wolfpack, Rob, Johnny, Eli, Nick Larson, they're always a big help. Everybody that has to do anything with the series itself, BJ Graphix, Stone Motorsports, and Stone Automotive up in Vermont, and I think I'm missing somebody, but obviously you do a great job with these broadcasts. I love it. I tried to hire you, but you were busy, but that's okay. But you obviously do a great job, and I love watching the broadcast after we race. Well, no matter how I do.
We appreciate it, Steve. And, I got to say, we appreciate you coming out here, being part of the show that all of us get to enjoy, because I tell you what, you're a tough driver to beat when it comes to these next-gen cars.
Yeah, we'll see how the season goes. I think I'm more looking forward to Friday nights, but we'll see how that goes too.
Oh yeah, I look forward to turning some laps with you guys as well Friday nights. I'm always a big fan of those Xfinity cars as well.
Yeah, I do a little bit better than them, to be honest with you. So, I mean, super speedway racing, super speedway racing. But when we get to the mile and a halves, we'll see how good I actually am in these things.
For sure, and there's a lot of those in the playoffs. So I guess if you want to start prepping, those are the tracks to do it at, right?
It looks that way. Yep.
All right, Steve. Well, you, my man, have a great rest of the night. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you next Sunday.
Thanks, Brett. Have a good night.
Alrighty, folks, that was our runner-up finisher, Steve Ritter, and I believe we have one more person as well. I believe we have the 77 of Kevin Roy here. Kevin, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, man. So, duel number 1 done and over with in the books. How we feeling after that?
I'm pretty excited. It's my first race with this group, and didn't have any my teammates out there with me, so happy with the finish for sure.
Yeah, and it looked like, you were biding your time, riding on around, waiting for this race to play on out, and you timed it out perfectly there at the end in striking distance in case anything crazy could happen, which could be any lap at a super speedway, right?
Yeah, definitely. I was getting a little nervous. People were doing, trying to shoot the middle. It seemed to be quick, but I was just dedicated to the bottom. I spent much of the race up top trying to get rhythm up there, but it would just die out. So I just was committed to the bottom there at the end.
Yeah, and that it worked out nicely, and I'm sure you got a lot of good data heading into next week, next Sunday, let's say, for that Riptide 250.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good learning session, so to speak, and knew know who I can race around, and then I'll have my teammates in that race. So they're in Duel 2, so but it worked out. I was happy.
Yeah, that it did worked out very nicely for you, my man. And overall, what's kind of the expectations going into Daytona next week, as well as the greater scope? What's the expectations for you this season in the 77?
Well, I hope to stay out of trouble for the big race next week, and I'm not the greatest super speedway racer, but I'm clean, and we'll try to work our way to the front, see what we can do. As far as the season goes, like I said, it's my first season with these guys and getting to learn them and stuff. I don't want to push the limits and ruffle some feathers, so to speak. So we'll take the few races of learning experience and move on from there.
All right, sounds like a great game plan, Kevin. And yeah, a lot to be learned here on iRacing. I feel like every time I strap behind the virtual steering wheel, I feel like I learned something. So before we let you go, my man, and celebrate with a podium finish from duel number 1, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to here on the broadcast.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the league let me in. I ran a few recruitment races. I was intended to run the Friday Night Bush Series, so I'm going to do that. And saw they had a Cup League, and glad they allowed me to race. So we'll go on from there. And my teammates, Daniel Holcroft and Kip Easley, and we'll get it done next week.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Sounds good, Kevin. And you, my man, have a great rest of the night, and good luck next Sunday.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was Kevin Roy from the 77 machine. And look at this, folks. We got race cars in front of us here at Daytona. Duel number 2, ready to rock and roll. So here tonight, the starting lineup for duel number 2 will look like the following. Kip Easley in the number 8 machine will be leading the field to the green flag. To his outside on the front row, it is the defending champion, the 97 of Jeff Pogo. Rolling off P number 3 will be 88. That is Dan Holdcroft. Rolling off P number 4 will be the 21. That is Rob Lowell. Rounding out the top 5 here tonight will be the 13 machine. That is Jason Wiley. Rolling off 6 will be car number 6. That is Johnny Barker. Dustin Coggin in the 44 here will start 7th. And then Michael P. in the 36 machine will roll off 8th. Starting in 9th is Dan Yout in the 50. and Cody Brewer in the 12 car will start 10th. Cody Meadows in the 19 will roll off P number 11. 12th will be John Beal, and I believe that is it. So 12 cars here tonight for duel number 2, and it looks like cars are rocking and rolling here down the backstretch, and we get ready to turn them loose just like we had in duel number 1. 40 laps is going to be the distance here in this one. So yeah, we saw some big hitters there in duel number 1 there. Kenny Reel able to rebound after the spin there in 3 and 4 and pick up the checkered flag. Who will be the other driver to pick up a checkered flag? We'll find out in about 40 laps or so. As it looks like starting lineup not quite the way it was supposed to be here, so I believe light's gonna stay on the speedway here, so we will try and see and get word to make sure that that is all set here. Looks like lights are out on the pace car, so I believe we should be going green next time by, so we will see if that's the case. But it looks like field once again getting ready to double on up here at Daytona. So yeah, be sure to let me know who you're rooting for here tonight, whether if they were in duel number 1 or here in duel number 2. See, we have Steve Ritter from that second place there in duel number 1 here, already back in the YouTube chat here, getting ready to watch some of his teammates with the Wolfpack Racing Group. Of course, one of those drivers, Johnny Barker, as well as the 21 machine. Like we said, big news in the offseason. Jeff Pogo and Brandon Guerin teaming on up together. So the 97 car has a new look and a new team this season. So we'll see if he can go back to back with the championships with a lot of changes for that 97. Looks like here the lights are back here on the Daytona Speedway. So looks like still not quite fully set on up, so as we continue to wait for the green flag here, we will be right on back from a quick word from our partners over at Premier Setup Shops. All right, we are back here for duel number 2. Once again, lights are out on the iRacing Mustang, so fingers crossed this time by we are going green flag here. It looks like the 21 machine, though, still on pit road. Johnny Barker has tagged onto the back of the field here in the 6, or Melissa's still catching the field here, so Barker here trying to catch that field here back in the middle of the super stretch here on the backstretch. Alrighty, so lights are once again out on the iRacing pace cars, so I believe this time may be going green flag here. We'll have to see if the lights do cut on. It looked like maybe the delay, we had one driver here miss the start of the race here. I believe the 30 machine not making the call here, so that is what the delay was from. But here we go at the start finish line. Kip Easley on the loud pedal, and we go green flag racing here from duel number 2 at Daytona. The field side by side through turns 1 and 2, and if I was a betting man, I would say that we will see this field, you know, quickly get down to single file here, and everyone start to kind of just try and click off those laps. And just like we saw in duel number 1, people will probably peel down pit road right at the halfway point here, as Easley here leading the inside lane, bringing along Holdcroft there in the 88, row number 2. Jeff Pogo and Cody Brewer here trying to make something work, and those guys still staying committed to lane number 2. Pogo will jump on down. Now they'll lead the 12 of Brewer leading the lane. Pogo there able to quickly close on the bumper of the 88 machine, but out in front, Kip easily leading the way here tonight. A lot of great looking race cars here under the lights of Daytona. One of the cooler ones definitely this 50 Harley Davidson machine of Dan Yout. Yout in the 50 here. About the second to last car on that inside lane, but the Harley Davidson paint scheme definitely very, very nice under the lights here, as looks like lane number 2 about to die on off, as only 2 cars up there. Now make it 1, now make it none, as everyone has entered into the inside lane here, riding around single file. Like I said, that would probably be the case up until, you know, the green flag pit stops like we saw in duel number 1. That will definitely jumble up the field, the running order, depending on how well you can get in and off of pit road. But right now it could be a good learning point to see, hey, here's what kind of runs we can generate, what kind of moves we can make. You can all get all sorts of good data here in the duels. So out in front, Kip easily led the field to the green flag, looks like should be leading here the first 5 laps once they get back to the start finish line. And if I was a betting man, I'd have to say easily a fan of Kyle Busch here, rocking the Rebel number 8 machine out in front and looking sporty here for duel number 2. Has led every single lap so far here tonight in this second duel. Biggest mover though in this second duel, that is the NOS 47 machine of John Buell. Buell is up 7 positions from where he started, so Buell started shotgun on the field in that 12th position. He has made his way up into the top 5, so that 47 machine sits in that 5th position here. And I find it kind of interesting too. I don't know if you guys can see it on your end, but these cars definitely throwing a little bit of sparks from their left front corner here at Daytona. So not sure if the iRacing setup's a little bit off and a little bit low on the ride height there, but we can definitely see some sparks coming off of most of these race cars. But lap times and mile per hour still look pretty good. So even if that thing is dragging a little bit here, not showing any sort of effect here as these drivers getting above 190 even before they get into turn number 1 here. So everyone that has taken the green flag here has completed every single lap and has been in the pack here. Everyone from Kip Easley all the way to Johnny Barker here. Just a long snake of race cars here. Like I said, just clicking off laps. They know where you can win or lose this race will definitely be those green flag pit stops, because if this race goes green to the end, that could definitely determine, hey, you come out in front. If you're in a pack of at least 3 cars, 4 is even more optimal, but if you at least have 3 cars, you could definitely draft away from most any other cars when it comes to this package. So I say let's ride on board with our race leader, looking back at the cars behind him. So riding on board with our race leader, Kip Easley here. You can see best time of 46.8. Last time by there right at the stripe of 47.03. So still keeping that speed up here, leading the way. And as you can probably hear, riding on board with the 8 car, just wide open throttle, letting that thing sing here from Daytona. And it might seem like, you know, these cars just riding around in a straight line. It doesn't get too much crazy, but I always like those shots like that riding on board. You can see just how much these cars are moving on around. Even though these guys, you know, staying in a line as much as they can with the car in front of them, still at 190, you know, slight inputs could definitely move the car on around. I mean, you can see with this shot, there's another good shot. You can see the cars kind of weaving back and forth here down these straightaways. So first 10 laps done and completed here for duel number 2 has been clean and green to kick it on off. And Kip Easley has led every single lap here so far. Taking a look at some stats from last season, Jeff Pogo walked away with the most wins last season at 5 wins here to help him win that championship. So Pogo very strong here. You know, super speedways definitely aren't his favorite kind of tracks, but luckily he can just look to knock those on off in a different format this season for him. Playoffs involved, so that could throw a wrench in a few things. As yeah, it looks like I think I might get a buddy here in the booth. I think we got the driver of the 1 car, Brandon Guerin, here with us, getting ready to jump on over. So we'll see if Brandon Guerin has a copy. Brandon Guerin, do you got a copy?
How we doing, Brett?
Pretty good, man. I heard you might be interested in calling a race or something.
Yeah, so I figured, we might as well come up and join you in the booth here for a little bit, and I like to do a little bit of what you're doing here, so we'll commentate on the race a little bit. It looks a little boring, so maybe we can just bring some stories and try to have a little bit of fun here.
Yeah, for sure, man. And first and foremost, exciting duel number 1. How are you feeling from that thing, and what are you seeing out here from duel number 2 with it?
So Duel 2, it looks kind of calm. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of like normal NASCAR Cup Series. Usually the first duel is a little bit exciting, got a little bit of action, and then that second one they're kind of tame for the first 3/4. But I think eventually we're gonna see, as we see a couple people here making moves right now, Cody and Johnny up to the outside from the back. It's kind of something like similar to me and Frank did, probably around the same amount of laps. I was eventually just put the pedal to the metal, and me and Frank made a run there, and we went from the back to the front really quickly.
Yeah, and it seems like these duels, just like in real life, you guys can do it here on iRacing. Get a lot of good data of, how these cars feel in the draft, what kind of energy that you can generate. Because I bet, especially with this amount of cars, you can definitely generate your own energy and take some runs.
Yeah, so for me in the beginning, I was half throttle to a quarter throttle riding with Frank behind me, and kind of just every now and then I'd put it down a little bit, and I could feel how much we would suck up. So you could really, even with this smaller amount of field, really get the runs going.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I definitely thought I saw that as well. So, I mean, going to that finish, what more could you have done? Maybe do a little bit different. We saw you were involved on that last lap incident.
Well, I got lucky to be involved in that last lap incident, because as we're probably about 5 laps away from these guys probably trying to make a green flag stop, I kind of blew pit road as I was leading and kind of got a speeding penalty there. So I got lucky to get the caution, bunch the field back up, and then yeah, I think it was 2 to go or something. I might have been on the white flag. I made the move to the outside as I saw Hudson, and the outside was kind of coming. My plan was, I told Kenny, even though we're not teammates anymore, I'm like, I'm going with you. So if he was going to the outside, I was gonna push him. But I saw the run coming, thinking maybe he would stick out there, and if he didn't, then I was hopefully gonna get the push to go to the front. But kind of just got a little off-centered push, and what it looked like when I watched the replay was Joe got a little loose, got into Eli, who then came up into me, and then from there we just kind of were on for a little ride. But I thought we might have had the move. We were looking pretty good there, but again, Daytona bites me again. So that's all right. I learned a little bit, learned a lot, and hopefully we're a little bit better for next week.
Yeah, for sure, man. And yeah, you mentioned it there a little bit as well. Pit road entry, something that a lot of people, don't realize how much skill it takes to get there, because you have marks set in stone that, hey, we got to lift and brake by here from practice. And what kind of happened to you to have you with that pit road penalty? Because like you said, without that caution, man, that's a heartbreaking thing to have here.
So I'd called the pit, and I told Frank, I was like, Frank, you want to pit on 20? And he told me, yeah. And then from there, I know Frank and Kenny are the 2 that are behind me, and I know they're pitting, but I don't know how many behind them. So my thought was, I'm going to try to get as low to the inside wall as I can, and I'll woe it up from there. And then as I'm way to the inside, I see the cone. It's a lot further up on that wall than I was expecting for the inside line, and I knew it as I was slowing down. I wasn't making it. Usually I enter to the outside, more towards the track, but not knowing how many cars were actually coming in with us, I just was like, I'm going to hang it to the bottom, and just cooked her in a little hot. I think we were at 80 when we hit the line, so sometimes if you're a little fast, you could slow it down below pit speed limit, and it'll not give you the black. But we just were cooking it way too hot and couldn't get the black negated. So it happens. We got lucky, and then we tried to win it. So I ended up basically where I would have been anyways without that caution. So it's not too much something that I'm heartbroken over.
Yeah, and I mean, at least to say that it happened, at least it was on the duel night and not the final green flag pit stop of the Daytona race next Sunday with all those laps in it, right?
Yeah, next week would be the real heartbreaker. I mean, I know this race still pays points, but like I think I still ended up 10th, so I mean, still that's a 10th place finish still, and I got wrecked in the last lap. Where if that happens next week, I'm probably finishing 25th to 30th. So it's not the worst. It's still points, and if it ends up being a drop race, I mean I would love for a 10th place finish to be a drop race. So I try to think of the positives of it right now.
Yeah, for sure, man. And like we all know, still a long way to go in the season. Anything can happen, and that's a mindset you got to be, you know, keep on looking at the bright side, even when a race maybe doesn't go 100% your way, and move on to the next one, right?
Yep. So I think we're going to be probably coming up here soon on green flag pit stops, right? We're about halfway through this race.
Yeah.
I noticed some guys trying to make some moves on the outside here.
Yeah, looks like we got the 36 machine and the 12 once again back up on that second lane.
Yeah.
But yeah, 21 to go. Like you said, getting in that pit window. When was your kind of brake and lift point for a reference for when these guys got to get on their brakes and binders and slow these things on down? Because these Cup cars do have pretty good brakes, but as we all know, you could definitely miss your marks.
Yeah, I mean, as I did, but usually I'm gauging it probably. Yeah, so
Pogo,
like Pogo
with the
was in
fake
pit,
out.
but
Yeah.
nobody else went with him.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I kind of, let me see if I can see a good pit lane entrance here. Yeah, I'm here. I'm hearing the calls right now. We got people coming over the radio. They're all pitting.
Okay.
So, yeah, well, we can watch this as they enter, and I can kind of try to walk through how I would pit. It sounds like we got a lot of them coming, Brett.
Oh man, it's
Sounds
gonna
like
be hectic.
Sounds like the whole field.
Oh,
Sounds like the
man.
whole field, Brett.
Yeah, and that couldn't be any issues, right?
No, that should. I mean, we pitted with 4 people, so this should be. Here we go. They're all breaking down. They're gonna try to fan out. Pretty clean so far. We got one coming in hard.
Oh,
here we
heads
go.
up.
Here we go. Yeah.
Jason
I don't
Wiley on around, and Cody
And
Meadows.
the 19.
Yep, the 19 of Cody
Looked like-
Meadows.
Cody got a little bit of SVG work there. I got a little sideways and then hooked it right into Brett or Jason.
Yeah, and a tough
And
break there.
These should all be fuel only stops. I don't think anybody's gonna be taking tires here.
I do see the right side's going up on a few cars, so surprised by that call
Really?
too. Because yeah, like you said, I thought it was just a splash and go here.
Unless it might be the guys that spun out, they might have flat spotted, but
Yeah, that
for
is
the
a
most
good
part,
point.
gas and go, and everybody's off and away. So not as bad as what it could have been. We stayed green and everybody's free and clear, but I mean, you could see it right there. Most guys hit their marks. I would say Cody probably hit his mark too, just probably a little bit more rear brake in the car than everybody else. That's something that could really like help a lot of drivers too when you're coming to pit road. If you have your free hand, crank up the brake bias, put the front brake to it so you don't have the rear come around on you if you want to be really heavy on the brakes.
Yeah, that's probably something that you could even probably set before the race, right? And kind of almost set and forget, because here at a super speedway, who's using the brake anyways, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're barely touching the brake at all, so crank that thing all the way up, and that'll help you stop in the pit lane, in your pit stall. And looks like Pogo's just wanting to get out of line here for a little bit and ride in the back. As you see Jason just coming off pit road now, that's a bummer. He lost a lap on that.
Yeah, that is a bummer for the 13 of Jason Wiley. Kip Beasley still out in front, has led every lap, led onto pit road, led off of pit road. And yeah, with that green flag pit stop, this could make or break the race. Only 6 cars now left in this pack.
And I think these 2 out front are teammates too, so it's nice for Kip's got a little reassurance that he's got a teammate stuck up behind him. And then you got the next 2, actually, Dustin and John, both teammates. Frank and Pogo Johnny and Pogo out there by themselves, so maybe they'll hook up a little bit here, and we'll have a 2v2v2 battle here for the end of this.
Yeah, very well could be. Not teammates like you mentioned, but both in Mustangs. I mean, I know there's no manufacturer alliance here on iRacing, but we could maybe play it up like there is, right?
Yeah, we might as well. Then we can have
Yeah.
a nice little, because if Dustin leads that middle pack, we could have a little Toyota, Chevy, and Ford action here, all going at each other.
Oh, for sure. Still have all 3 manufacturers here in this first pack. Then behind it looks like the 19 and the 36 at least drafting together, but with only 2 cars, they're not running down the pack of 6 cars, put together.
Yeah, that's just. And even if they slowed down a little bit to pick up these guys that are straggling behind him, Jason's behind him, Cody's behind him, the 50. You got 3 cars that are just by themselves right now. So by the time they all would pack up and get like 5 of them together, they wouldn't catch that other pack. So looks like it's just without a caution, which very possible still. It's gonna be this front 6 battling it to the end here.
Yeah, it's looking like how it's going to be shaping up to be with now here at the stripe, only 15 laps to go. So, man, Brandon, I always love to, kind of pick people's brains and whatnot. Been picking your brain already a ton. But as we close on into the end of this race, I mean, when do you start thinking about making a move? Is it 5 to go? With only 6 cars here, though, does that have a factor in it as well?
That has a big factor in it because, in my opinion, you need at least 3 cars to get a run on pretty much any, unless the whole bottom pack, but you got to have 3 cars to really make a run. You got to have that 1 car out front pushing, another one in the middle kind of being the meat in the sandwich, and then you got that last one that's sucking up every time and hitting the meat in the sandwich up to the front. So if you can have the 3, like I don't know if Dustin's backing off here a little bit and trying to maybe gain a run for these 4 on this front 2, but he's looking a little bit on the outside like he wants to get in front of these guys here.
Yeah, he's definitely either maybe getting some air on that nose or maybe starting to think about it here, but yeah, it's starting to get close to that go time.
That's the other thing. Like, so in our duel, like I said earlier, I was committed to Kenny. I was gonna push him. I wasn't gonna jump out on him. That was my dance partner, and I did jump out and kind of like left him hanging, but I figured he was gonna come out there with me. But I did that with 2 to go, so that's kind of like what I'm waiting for. Maybe like, I think Kenny made the move. I don't know, 1 coming on the back straightaway. I heard. I was already wrecked by then, but he took the move on the last lap. So if you got a teammate behind you, you could almost make the move anytime, but I wouldn't make it too early because you're playing your cards early. They could do it right back to you.
Yeah, and especially 2 teammates at the front, either of those teammates could end up blocking the line and then slowing down that momentum if you wait for that 1 shot,
And the other thing is, how committed is that teammate? Does he want to make the move? He already knows Kip's starting on the front row.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
Maybe he wants to make a move. Maybe he wants to get a dual win here. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, checkered flag at Daytona at the end of the day is a checkered flag at Daytona, right?
That's exactly right, and that's probably why I made the move with 2 to go and didn't wait for Kenny. As I saw the run and I was like, you know what? Let's get up there and let's get a checkered flag, and let's go talk to Brett in the winner circle. But it didn't quite work out that way.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out that way, at least here tonight. But yeah, next Sunday, have as good of a shot as anyone because, Brandon, last time these cars went to a super speedway here in the league, you end up with the win there at Talladega.
Yeah, I have a lot of good luck at Talladega. I haven't had the luck here. I can run good, but I think last year I blew a motor. Just money shifted that because I had my new wheel and I had my shift up and my shift down configured backwards, so that didn't really help. And then just snake bitten here, but I've had short on fuel a couple times, and hopefully this is the year that we can at least finish Daytona with a good run. Get us set up good towards the season, because we've been ending these seasons good, which might pay off this year with the playoffs in effect. So we're just looking to qualify for the playoffs and then go rounds.
Yep, for sure. And yeah, 15-car playoff, and then knocks on down 5 cars each round. And I don't know if we talked before, but a lot of 1.5 miles there, and you're pretty good at 1.5 miles. How are you feeling about those playoffs?
I feel pretty good. I got my teammate that I'm kind of worried about. I mean, Johnny's good. There's so many good guys. Kenny's good in this league. Like, I would feel most confident on the 1.5 miles, so that I do like, but there is still a stiff amount of competition, and with 3 rounds, you don't have a chance to have a mess up race because the way it's kind of configured is each round has 2.5 miles and then kind of like we'll say a wild card, but they're just smaller tracks. We got Dover. The second round, I think it's worldwide, and then the third round is Nashville. So a little bit kind of different style tracks, but they all feed into me really well with a lot of them being high tire wear too.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised. No super speedway nor no short track in the playoffs.
Nope. We had a couple in there to begin with, but we didn't want anything to possibly happen out of a driver's hands in a 3-race round. We wanted to, sure, something could still happen at 1.5 miles, but it's less likely than Daytona. It's less likely that you're going to be running 30th and somebody in second wrecks and it takes you out from 30th place. That won't happen at 1.5 miles, you hope, but
Yep,
so we're try to put it more in the driver's hands.
Yep, that's definitely for sure, and yeah, you can definitely do that at these 1.5 miles. And I tell you what, man, Brandon, this race flying on by. We are already single digits to go here. Now this time at the stripe, only 8 laps to go, so it's starting to get into the witching hour, and people probably thinking more and more here. Hey, it might be the time here sooner rather than later.
And it's gonna be Dustin that's gonna have to make the first move, and then the real question is after that is if Dustin goes to the outside, where, John's gonna go with him, they're teammates. Where does Johnny and where does Pogo go? Do they go with the guys on the bottom, or are they gonna take that run to the outside with them? So, if we get that run, it all depends on how much help they can get from behind. Because I don't know if just 2 versus 2 they can take this front 2. The 8 and the 88 look pretty locked together right now. They seem very committed to each other.
Yeah, and if the 50 car here of Dan Yao can stay with this pack, he's just hanging on to the draft. He could maybe push anyone to the win because he's a lap down, doesn't have a horse in the fight right now, but he could be someone's best friend and push someone to a win here now that he's in the draft with this lead pack.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Everett, I'm seeing we got another one in front of us, Cody Brewer. He can pack onto this, so we might get a little bit more energy in this pack with these lap cars that they're starting to tag onto the back of the field.
Yeah, and with these lap cars, they're going to push one of these cars to the finish. Like, you don't have to worry about them trying to jump out of line and steal the win from you.
Yep. Yeah, they ain't racing for position at this point.
Yeah, so some more drama here coming in towards the end. And yeah, Brandon, as we get closer to the end, BG Graphix on board for another season with the 802. Why don't you tell the folks at home a little bit more about BG and all the cool stuff they have to offer?
Yeah, we can. So BG is me, Brandon Guerin. So BG Graphix, we do a lot of the iRacing paints. I mean, let's see. I got Johnny Barker out there right now. He's running one of our my paints. Got the Wolfpack Racing. And actually, we getting a little dicey here now. Johnny's making a move. He just went from the back up to third. And
yeah, second lane starting to form.
We will talk about BG Graphix in a minute. We got some racing here, Brett.
That we do, and yeah.
And as you said, it was the 50 car and the 12 car. These lap cars are really getting into factor. Now, right in front of us, we got Jason. He's on the outside, and they're already 2 wide now. So this is going to get really dicey when they go by Jason here.
Yeah, and it's 5 laps to go. This momentum could break up a little bit here and reform on up. But yeah, now we have 3 lap cars in the mix to add some more energy. It's about to get wild. And look at this. Maybe for the first time here in Duel 2, a new race leader, Johnny Barker, out in front.
Yeah, I really noticed if you could get some really good pushes, you could get a really good run down the back stretch. The outside kind of is the preferred line. It doesn't bog down as much as the inside sometimes, and they got more energy on the outside. They got 3, 4, 5 cars and just 3 on the bottom. So these guys all stay hooked together. That outside line should be good to go here.
Yeah, so now momentum and energy up in lane number 2. The question is, does Johnny Barker get hung out to dry? Does Coggin shoot high or low? Now that they get all clear from the 8er, do they keep this momentum and save it for the last lap? Because that's where, here we go.
Yeah, and there they go. They all shifted Johnny out. Oh, but Pogo's going to go back up to the outside now. And now it's just these front. Nope, he's back to the inside.
So yeah,
really
now,
racy here at the end.
yeah, that it is. Dustin Coggin now out in front, getting pushed by John Buell. How about Buell started shotgun on the field? He's up to second, as now we see Pogo shoot back out to lane number 2 and once again dives back down to this inside lane in the corner.
Yeah, he's really trying. He wants Johnny to get a run, but there's just 2 cars out there right now. They need another one up there. Maybe Jason will get up there. Maybe the 50. Got a couple lap cars back there really trying to make a move. And now the 8 and the 88 have split up. The 8 is with Pogo, and the 88 is stuck on the bottom with Buell and Dustin Coggin.
Yeah, so interesting call there. Teammates get split on up now with 3 laps to go. Coggin leads the way on the inside lane. Pogo up top, and oh man, it's getting exciting now, Brandon.
Yeah. See if the old defending champ can do something here. My teammate, I'm not rooting for anybody here, that's for sure. But got my old team versus my new team basically out here in the front here, Brett.
Yeah, and 4 cars and in each lane. It's evened on out. Oh man, here we go. Popsicle sticks up in the air. Now 2 laps to go. 5 miles left in this one.
So that's the difference in this duel compared to ours. They are already side by side. They are basically in the battle where they want to be. With my duel, we had to make that move. We were single file coming to his lap, so this is way more exciting. They are heads up right now. It's who can push better, who can stay connected better. Is anybody going to try to step out? It looks like, oh, I thought Kip was going to step out there. John gets a little loose, and they are getting dicey down the backstretch. Looks like that bottom line broke up there a little bit.
Yeah, that it did. Cars starting to dance and move on around. How tough does it get now? These pushes, full-on pushes, you know, everyone giving it all. You got to hang on for dear life and take these runs. As, yeah, Kip now to the bottom side. Jeff Pogo will lead the way here at the white flag. We're racing back to the checkered now.
Big push from Johnny Barker. Is Johnny going to stay connected to him? There's no alliance. Any of these front 4, there's no alliance between them. No teammates. Somebody wants to win this race. They all want to. Ooh. Woo, Pogo goes down, makes a big block to the inside in the middle of the turn.
That he does.
That killed the momentum from the outside, and here comes Dustin and John. They're going up to the outside now.
Oh, man, yeah,
They
now.
will get a run. We're going to get another tight finish here, Brett, I think.
Yeah, that we are. Jeff Pogo leading the way on the bottom side. Now, once again, Dustin Coggin up to lead lane number 2. They got to get a big push from Johnny here off of turn number 4 if they want a shot. Here we go.
Push there. They broke up.
That they did.
Yeah, and it's going to be your defending champ, Brett.
Wow, Jeff Pogo will pick up the win here in duel number 2. We will talk to him here in just a moment. Kip Easley with a great run. He will finish second. And Dustin Coggin third. And how about that, Brandon? Green to checkered in duel number 2.
Great race. Great race. It got really exciting there them last 10 laps. Wow. I got speechless there them last 2 sometimes. That was a lot of fun, Brett.
Yeah, that was a really, really good race. And hey, man, if you still don't got anything going on right now, you want to interview some drivers here?
Yeah, Brett, I'll stick along, and I would love to interview some drivers here. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Well, we'll keep the camera on Jeff Pogo, see if he celebrates this duel number 2 win. And then right after that, we'll go to a quick commercial break, get these drivers all lined up. As, yeah, we see Jeff Pogo cut it through the grass. He will tear up some grass here at Daytona.
Don't tear up that car, Jeff. We need it for next week.
Yeah, that we do. That car looks like a pretty good piece. Like you said, you have some good speed. So Hoonigan Racing just created and looking pretty good for race number 1 already. Alrighty, it looks like Pogo will park it at the start-finish line here, so we'll be right back after a quick commercial break for our driver interviews. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here from Daytona, and I believe our third place finisher we have up here first. It will be the 44 machine of Dustin Coggin. Dustin, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, Brett, what's going on?
How we doing, my man? 40 laps in the books of duel number 2, and you've ended up on the podium, man. That was an exciting finish.
Yeah, man, I appreciate John pushing me. We were working together and staying up there, and Jason got tore up in the pits, but he kind of came around at the end when we were going back around him. But you pull these things out of line, man, they just fall on their face. So I'm gonna have to rethink how I get my runs and what I do and when, because as soon as I got to their bumper and turned out of line, that was it. It wouldn't go.
Hey, Dustin. Brandon here. So,
Hey, Brandon.
I was watching the end of that race, and going right off what you said, it's hard to make a run. Do you feel like you just needed more of you guys to stick together? Because like when I'm out there, I felt like we need at least 3 cars to kind of like really make that run on the outside. And it looked like you and John were a couple times backing up, trying to make the run on both Kip and his teammate, but it was never really there with just the 2 of you guys.
Yeah, you really need 3. You need one behind bump drafting, and then the other one closing up that air pocket to just shove you up through the field. But I mean, it's weird. The timing is different on them. It's just weird, man. You can't, like, the side drafting don't feel like it was as much, because I mean, on that last lap, I was on their door and they never slowed down.
Yep.
But it was a fun 40 laps. I enjoyed it. It's all green. Good to get some green flag pit stops and ready to get the show on the road.
Yeah, and I mean, green flag pit stops were
yeah.
We're pretty hectic. Yeah, everyone coming down together. I mean, you had to have eyes glued to that rearview mirror, right? Diving down to pit road there like that.
Yeah, it was pretty nerve wracking. Somebody was all in my window net, and I seen it, and then I seen Jason's car get demolished. So that was the end of that, man. Luckily, he didn't hit me or John. So that's kind of what I figured, because your 6 cars are crammed in one little spot trying to get in here. So
it looked like the car that hit Jason looked like he had way too much rear brake in it, and it just came around on him. And is that something like you check before this race? Do you put your brake bias to the front more, just because like you ain't using the brakes during the race like me and Brett were talking, but it really does help you come into pit road and your pit entry?
I don't change them from what they are. I just move them all the way forward when I'm pitting. You know what I mean? I don't go nothing crazy, but like I said, these cars kind of notorious for not having really good brakes, so you kind of have to be careful with them.
You can slide the brakes really easy in these cars. They lock up real fast. But
yep.
It was a great run. You and John did good. It's a good way to start the season, top 3. This does pay full points, so that'll help you going forward into the season, and hopefully you learned a little bit and for next week, and you can put it up front.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Dustin,
problem,
before we
buddy.
let you go,
job.
anyone else you want to give a shout out to here on the broadcast, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else before we let you go?
Oh man, we got Ryan Dirty Fleet watching. That's what I do on the weekends. So my family, they always let me do this and sit in here for hours on end, 3 or 4 times a night. They watch and cheer me on. All my buddies at Penny Stackers, I've been racing with them since I started iRacing. Brandon knows Larry Murphy. He kind of helped me get in this group, and that's really helped me a lot, especially with these next gens. Man, they're different to drive. You can't drive them the same as any car on here. But all the guys at Penny Stackers, Old Money Racing, which is my group that I run dirt with, and all the other stuff too. But shout out to all them guys. They help a lot.
Alrighty, well, awesome stuff, Dustin. Best of luck here next week for the Riptide 250. And you, my man, have a great rest of your night.
All right, thank you, man. You too.
Alrighty, that was our 3rd place finisher, Dustin Colligan. Now, let's get our runner-up finisher, the A car of Kip Easley. Kip, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here with Brandon Guerin. Oh, Kip, you got a copy here? It's Brett the Jet in the booth.
Yeah, hey, how's it going, Brett?
All right, we got you now. How we feel, my man, after 40 laps here from duel number 2? That A car seemed like a pretty good piece here tonight.
Yeah, the car was good. I felt really good about the race. I mean, good qualifying lap, and to be able to up on the front row. Obviously, it was a setting duck out front. I knew it was just a matter of time before they made a move. I figured they'd make the move a little earlier, like they did 3 or 4 laps earlier. Is kind of what I was anticipating. And when I split up from my teammate 88, Daniel Holdcroft there, I thought that was probably my mistake. I thought there was a big enough hole when I shot up behind the 97 that kind of hurt us right off the bat. But overall, I'm real happy with the race. Obviously wish I could have pulled it off leading all those laps, but that's super speedway racing for you.
Yeah. How's it going, Kip? Good run tonight. This is Brandon here. So you and Daniel seem to be like hooked together like glue all night, and that seemed like your security blanket when you're out front. I know it's nice to have that security blanket. And you said you thought you had enough room to get behind him. I'm just curious, is that something you guys are like talking about on the radio during the race? Like, is he telling you, yeah, I'm clear too, or you were just kind of hoping at that point that he was clear? Because you had enough of a run where you like, I gotta take this.
Yeah, obviously we were talking throughout the whole race. Daniel and I have been teammates for a long time, raced together for a long time, and when the 97, I think it was like on lap 37 or 38, 97 went high to get back up in front of the 6, and the top line had kind of fallen off, and I'd shot up there with him, and that's when I lost Daniel, because about that time the 6 had filled the gap basically, and I didn't get communicated quick enough, because I just hooked it right, and I saw the gap, and you don't have a second or two to make a decision here, and there wasn't enough time for Daniel, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I know that quick second decision all too well, as it kind of didn't pay off for me in the previous duel. But other than that, I mean, great run. I mean, you're up front all night. Obviously, the car has a lot of speed. You qualified second, so you're already locked into starting on the front row still. That's nice. What were your thoughts on the green flag pit stops with everybody coming to pit road at once?
Yeah, I was really worried about the green flag pit stop, because I was out front the whole time, and I knew everybody else. I was shocked to hear everybody else calling to go into pit as early as they did, because I still had about 3 laps that I could have went, and I knew they had a lot of fuel left. So when they started calling, because I felt like Daniel and I were going to be the only ones, because we're new to this league. And I don't really know the teams yet. And when everybody started calling it, I said, Daniel, we need to go right here. And I just called, hey, I'm going to the inside fence. He goes to the outside. And I just kept an eye on the rearview mirror, and I saw him get sideways, but luckily it was a little further back from me.
Yeah, it definitely does get a little dicey. I took the inside line and I blew pit road in my thing, so good thing you got her woed up. That's nice.
Yeah, and well, the update and when I was practicing, I guess the update, I think they've moved the pit line back further into the
That
racetrack.
that makes more sense. Because when I was coming down, I said, "Man, that cone's way out there.
Yeah.
Surely that can't be pit entrance," and it was.
Yeah, I don't
But
know if they did or not, but my mark that I've used for a long time is definitely different.
yeah, I got any other questions for him, Brad, or give him his shout outs? Let him.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, congrats again, Kip, on the second place here. Looking pretty good for next Sunday. But before I let you go, man, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you want to give a shout out to here on the broadcast.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, I just want to shout out. Obviously, looking forward to running this league. Tonight was my first race here, and it's well put together. And I appreciate the broadcast. Obviously, watched it through here off and on, and I appreciate my family for allowing me to do this. And just thanks, and look forward to a fun season.
Alrighty, awesome stuff, Kip. Well, you, my man, have a great rest of the night, and we'll see you back next Sunday for the Riptide 250.
Absolutely. See you guys later.
Alrighty, now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of duel number 2. It will be the 97 machine of Jeff Pogo. Jeff, do you got a copy?
I'm here.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how we feeling after 40 laps here in duel number 2?
I still don't like these cars, but I feel good.
He don't like this track either, but he feels good.
I thought Jeff Pogo's the biggest fan of super speedway racing. What's going on?
Oh, man. I hate this racing.
But even with that, you still picked up the win. How'd you do it?
A little bit of luck, a little bit of patience. Don't really know. A couple good pushes from Barker got me up to the front. It was only me and him. I felt like we were the lone Fords out there. I don't know if we were or not, but I feel like we were. I hate to kind of abandon him like that, but I didn't really have any teammates or help in here, so just did what I could do and then played the lane game.
Yeah, we had Kip. Kip's the guy that was starting to push you there at the end, and he kind of bailed off from his teammate, which I think actually kind of benefited you because he didn't have any alliance to anybody else either. So, kind of like those last few laps, I think it was, as me and Brett were seeing, 4 different teams in the first 4 spots. So, you kind of were solo, but you did have some help because I don't think Kip was going to leave you by himself. So, luckily you were in the right lane, and Kip gave you the pushes to get you out front. And man, big win in the first race for Hooney Gang, huh?
Well, yeah, it's a good way to start it off. Let's hope we can do it next week. Yeah, it's a good win, but I thought for sure, I think it was lap 39 coming to 1 to go. Kip got to my inside there down the backstretch, and I thought, uh-oh. Well, then I kind of looked at the numbers in the lanes the best I could with my relative and my apps and stuff that I got up, and I was like, well, I'll stay the outside lane, see if I can get a little shove, and sure enough, I did.
Yep. Johnny gave you a good shove there, got you back out front, and basically from that point on, you were able to maintain the lanes a little bit easier, which really helped.
I was wanting to kind of work with Coggin a little bit, but we never really got together. Once Barker was with me, I was going to be content if I could just stay behind him, but, racer mentality. You want to win, and
Yeah.
then on top of it, new team, got to go out with a bang.
Yeah, so now the pit cycle. Me and Brett noticed, I think the lap before everybody did pit, you kind of did like a little duck. Was there a little miscommunication with like other teams, or are you trying to just like gauge the waters to see if other people are pitting?
That was really to be if I could get anybody to take it. But
yeah, okay. Because then the next lap, everybody's calling for pit road.
Well, you know they're going to start thinking about it at that point because you're halfway. I knew Dustin was wanting to go around 20, but obviously I'm not in the communications with him, so I'm just trying to get people thinking about it. And then if I could have heard some people say they were pitting, I was like, okay, it's on.
Yep. Well, you made it work. The pit entry and exit were clean, and You parked in Victory Lane. I don't know about the burnouts after. You almost tore the car up a little bit, but we'll look past that because you're in Victory Lane. I did tear
Yeah,
the car up.
yeah, it's kind of hard to do any kind of a good burnout here.
Yeah, awesome stuff, Jeff. And looking forward to this next season. Defending series champion. That has to have some weight on your shoulders as well. What's the expectation? What's the game plan?
We know everybody's gonna have, target on my back, and just go out here and do the same thing we did last season. Try to be consistent all year and keep bringing in top fives and see where you end up, come playoff time.
Yeah, and then this season, last season, full season points. This season, a playoff. Does that have an effect on the mentality and the game plan going forwards? Because those 3 races that round going to be very, very important each and every round.
I don't think it's really going to change my mentality. From what I understand, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not a win and in, so it's still full season points to get to that point.
Yeah, so it'll be full season points. So basically, after each round, there'll be the points kind of get reset, but there's a gap. So
Yeah.
in the first
So
round, like you're racing for points. Nobody can just win a race and jump up. So
yeah. But looking at the schedule, the playoff really, I mean, there's probably 2 tracks in every round that I'll benefit from. That's either where you can rip the high line or it's a tire conservation track, and I should be good at either one of them. So, my expectations make it to the final round, and I think it's very doable.
I would agree with that, Jeff. So down here in duel number 2, down in Victory Lane, before we let you go and celebrate the win here, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you want to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you want to give a shout out to on the broadcast here tonight.
Let's just go ahead and congratulate and thank the new team, Hoonigang Racing. And then I got to thank my new sponsor, Big Ass Fans, on board this season. So you might be seeing this paint scheme a lot, so we'll see what happens. Got to thank Barger for the push there at the end. Everybody in duel number 2 just being clean the whole time. Patient, taking your time. Doing smart moves. A little worried when we had the lappers kind of get up in with the lead pack there at the end. But again, thanks to them. They were clean, respected the leaders, and obviously Rob stuff putting us on, all the admins, you broadcasting. As always, my wife allowing me to do this as she's up there wrestling my 5-year-old. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Let's do it again next week.
All right, sounds good, Jeff. Well, you, my man, have a great rest of the night. And yeah, we'll see you next Sunday for the Riptide 250.
See you, buddy.
All righty, Brandon. Well, that would do it for driver and post-race show. Man, oh man. Now we just got the big one next Sunday. How we feeling? What's your final thoughts here tonight from Daytona?
It was great dual races. I mean, between both of them, I think we had the one caution. So that's great racing if you ask me. Really excited to see this group of guys all race together. With the increased IR cap that we put this year also, I don't know if we've even mentioned that. We're up to 4,000. So we got a little bit more diverse group of drivers. I'm really excited to see how we all race with each other. I mean, I get they were half packs tonight, but like I said, one caution between the 80 laps. I think that's great. So I really am looking forward to next week's race. I'm really looking forward to the whole season. There was some guys that weren't here tonight. They will still get to race next week. I believe if they were not in the duel, like if they didn't qualify or get in the duel, they'll just start from the pits next week. So yeah, 30 cars at least I believe we'll have next week. I believe we'll have more. So I'm really excited to see this group race next week here at Daytona.
Yeah,
Hopefully I win. Hopefully I win.
Exactly, man. I hope so as well. I hope you're at least on the podium, man. You need to get some sort of luck at some point at Daytona, right?
It wouldn't be bad, but just another like I said, I was very happy still to, like I said, get a 10th place points run tonight. That's good. So we'll see what the season brings. I'm just really looking forward to this season. I think it's gonna be a great season. We also have the Friday Night League now, which I'm so glad you'll be racing with us on weeks. That'll be a lot of fun, and yeah, the 802 iRacing leagues as a whole is really gonna be. I think it's gonna be a great year for all three series.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, Tuesday night have the GStone 358 modifieds, and like you mentioned, Friday night bringing the Xfinity cars on out. One of my favorite on iRacing, and yeah, I look forward to racing you guys a lot. I mean, I had fun with that ARCA car on Thursday nights when everyone was in there. Now we get to do it again with the Xfinity car. Man,
yeah,
I'm excited for that.
They finally give us a little bit more power, Brett. They think we're ready, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Exactly.
It's always fun. It's a great group of guys to race with. I'm really excited for this year.
Oh yeah, same with myself. I'm excited for it, and yeah, season now has started. So Brandon, we'll let you get on going. We'll chat here once I wrap up with the broadcast. But yeah, my man, it was a pleasure having you in the booth. Thanks for jumping on up here.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, Brett. I better get back down to the garage and help the boys put the car together because I tore that thing up on the last lap. So thanks again for having me up here, and I hope we have a great season. You have a great season broadcast, and I hope we get to talk more this year.
All right, for sure, man, and I hope so as well. So Brandon, you take care. Thanks again for jumping up and chatting with me.
Yeah, later, buddy.
Alrighty, that was the driver of the one car, Brandon Guerin, jumping in the booth, hanging on out. So that will do it here tonight for the 802 Winston Next Gen Cup Series here for pole qualifying, as well as the 2 BG Graphix Daytona Duels here at Daytona. Don't go anywhere, folks. Next Sunday, we are live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the Riptide 250. Pretty much this league's Daytona 500, but half the distance. So it's a race you won't want to miss. We'll get action-packed racing, photo finishes like we saw here tonight, and of course the big one that you never know when it's going to strike. So everyone take care, stay safe. We also got to give a huge shout out real quick to our partners at Premier Setups. They are partnered with Turn 3 Racing Network. You can check out more about them with the link in the description. So that'll do it here from myself. So everyone take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week, and we will catch you next Sunday for the Riptide 250. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.